Next up, we do have a comedian from another place, far, far away. It's called Albuquerque. We have Will Wheeler, everybody.
Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is William Wheeler. Thank you so much for having me here. First of all, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that it's not last call yet. The bad news is they're completely out of beer. Yeah, they're completely out of beer, so instead of drinking more and getting drunk, they asked me to come up here and talk to all of you about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Did you feel the tension in the room the second I said that? Even Christians in the room were probably thinking, I don't want to go to church twice today. No, but I don't know why I put that back in there. You know, everyone, it's everyone, it's been one whole long month, but finally, William Wheeler has come back to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah, I smell it too. It's in this room. I don't know.
I'm a huge wrestling fan. That's a wrestling reference. And you see, I really like to say wrestling references at my job. See, I work at a funeral home. I'm not a mortician. I'm on the transport staff, which basically means I'm an Uber driver for dead people. And you see, after I pick someone up and I bring them back to the funeral home, you know, I know most of you are probably thinking I like to quote The Undertaker, which, you know, because he says rest in peace, which isn't true. I like to quote The Rock, you know, because a lot of times I'll bring someone back and I'll say, I'm about to lay the smack down on your candy ass. What's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. But if you don't watch wrestling, the big thing with wrestling is that each wrestler has their own catchphrase. And normally any other person can say it and it still sounds cool, like Ric Flair says, woo! Or Macho Man Randy Savage says, oh, yeah! But the Big Show, he's the only wrestler that could just say how big he is and it sounds impressive. I'm 7 feet tall, 500 pounds. You can't stop someone like me. I'm a giant. See, that sounds impressive. If I try to say that, it sounds ridiculous. I'm 5'11", 156 pounds. You can probably stop someone like me. I'm an average-sized person. Big Show, if you just look at me really mean, I will probably just crumple into the fetal position and then cry like a little girl. But, you know, one day I do want to own my own funeral home. And when that happens, don't jump to conclusions. Well, when that happens, I hope that I also have enough time on site to be a part-time clown. Let's see. That way, when someone comes into my funeral home, I can tell them, my condolences on your loss. I also do birthday parties. And you see, and on the other side of that coin, if I'm doing a gig as a clown, and I make someone die, or laughs literally so hard they die on the spot, then their family comes in. I can tell them, my condolences on your loss. I also do cremations. But, you know, I don't normally do this. I brought my notes up with me, and you guys want to see my notes real quick? Yeah. I've been using them a lot more, and You know, you guys gotta keep this on the down low because this is like some top secret shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
That joke be flat. But wah wah wah. I know. But everyone, I can't emphasize this enough. You know, the Jean Cocteau Theater proudly for, what was that, a whole year now, right? Whole fucking year. Proudly presents Word Comedies Tuesdays is not supposed to bend like that.
Everyone's different, man.
Show. I can guarantee you I'm bigger and yellower than anyone else in this room right now. But now that I have your attention, I really want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart right now. Terrorism. Now, I'm kidding, it's not near and dear to my heart. But needless to say, I never do that joke, you know, in like the west side of Albuquerque or the ghetto or the VA hospital. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would be dead in like 3.2 seconds. But, you know, everyone, I've been dabbling with online dating recently, and I want to share my success story with you. Now, I was talking to this pretty young thing online, and, you know, her profile read, she loves the outdoors, she loves to travel, but she's going through a transitional phase in her life right now, which to me means this might be easy pickings. So we're talking, and, you know, we agree to make the rendezvous point McDonald's. I know what you're thinking, William, you're cheap. I am not cheap, I'm frugal. I initially sprung for like Red Lobster, maybe Blake's, but she insisted on McDonald's. And, you know, we meet at McDonald's, and the first thing I noticed about her was that the smell of the golden French fries matched the smell of her golden hair, and I'm loving it. And we got to talking and found out that she's frugal too. She uses the free Wi-Fi at McDonald's all the time, and then she took control of the conversation. Listen, you have a car, I have a cart, you have a house, I have this, you have 2 jobs, I have the opinion that's enough for both of us. I think we can make this work. Guys, what I'm trying to tell you is I have a homeless girlfriend now. It's great. And, you know, before I met her, I never truly realized how attracted I was to homeless women. And there's a word for it. You can look it up. It's a real thing. If you're attracted to homeless people, that makes you a hobosexual. Look it up on your phone right now. I ain't fucking around. But, you know, we were hitting it off. You know, I really liked her. She really liked me. And we, what's up?
You like to see hobos naked.
Who doesn't? But, you know, we hit it off, and she invited me over to her place, and she has a nice place. It was a cardboard mansion. It was a box to a washer and a box to a dryer, and she had recently gotten a new dishwasher. It was nice. It was a cracked bucket filled with rainwater, and that's what I loved about her. She was eco-friendly. Fuck global warming. And, I don't know, you know that, I'm going to tell you the good things about dating a homeless girl. Just, you know, she's great at windows. And you know that phrase, wherever you go, that's where you are? Well, wherever I drop her off, that's where she's sleeping. And, you know, sometimes we role play, you know, behind McDonald's. And I'll dress up like a clown. She calls me Ronald. You know, like that clown Reagan, she's a Republican. I'm kidding, I don't have anything against Republicans. But before I go, I have one last thing to tell you guys. You know, a couple people mentioned bouncers, you know, in their sets earlier. And recently, a buddy of mine, he's been, yeah?
You brought a trampoline.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, recently a buddy of mine, he was looking to hire a bouncer for his nightclub. And, you know, he was talking to bikers, construction workers, people that are just stereotypically tough, you know. And the big question he would ask him is, what's the most badass thing you've ever done? You know, they're giving them their stories, and there's this ranch kid that comes in, and he asks him, what's the most badass thing you've ever done? And he's like, well, sir, I was working on the ranch, and my arm got caught in a hay bale. It ripped my arm clean off. But I was lucky enough to stop the bleeding, and I was able to sew my arm back on with my one remaining good arm. And he said, wow, that's amazing. You're hired. Then he said, thanks. And you see, before he hired that guy, I was trying to apply for the job myself, but my buddy wouldn't have it. I was like, dude, I don't think you understand. I'm your guy. I'm 5'11". Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. My name's William Wheeler. Thanks so much for having me here. Have a good night.
That's right, that's Will Wheeler, everybody. You know, it would have been nice if we could hear the second half of his set, but I'm still deafened by the balloon. I'm sure it was good. I like that guy. So.